All right, guys, today we're going to be talking about Temporal Forces, one of the coolest new sets that I think's been released, and it is the 5th set of the Scarlet and Violet era. What I want to be going is talking about the set, some of the artworks, and of course then going into some marketing data. As you guys know, I am a marketing professional. I work, my job is pretty much analyzing data and creating content that focuses on trends. So I want to be using some of my expertise and knowledge to go through Temporal Forces, see where I think it's going to perform as an investment and how collectible the set is for the long term. So let's get into it. Temporal Forces is coming out on the 22nd of March, so just under 2 months away, so get ready to pick it up, I suppose. Just a little bit of a comment. I think one thing that has annoyed me is the split ETBs. They do this a lot with the games, and it's a trend that they had, which kind of made sense back in the Pokemon Red, Blue, Gold, Silver era, where they really wanted to promote the link cable. I get it. They wanted to make more sales to promote those cables. And the trading aspect was what really made, it was like a real selling point for Pokemon. What they've done is they've kind of kept a split set in the video games. I don't like the split set. I think it can be done without it, but here we are. Whether you're going to collect one or the other, I don't think it matters, but what does matter is the cards inside. So let's go into it. I just want to have a quick chat about some of the cards that we're looking at. You got Gouging Fire here. It's kind of set up in its element. Looks like a real lion, I suppose, in this element. Like looks good. Not my favorite of the set. Same with Walking Wake. Pretty cool. Looks okay. Nothing that stands out that I'm like, oh, I need to add this, or do I need this as an investment, or do I need this even in my collection? None of this really stands out for me. However, Iron Crown, man, what a artwork. I am getting this regardless of price. This card is super well done. The composition of it, it's got the moon in the background. They obviously have a thing with moons. I don't know if they try to push it with the Umbreon, Moonbreon, and the new Charizard card from 151 with the moon in the background. Really, really cool. When I saw this, I was immediately like, damn, this is why we kind of collect Pokemon cards. This is why they nail it. This is what makes the difference. Super, super heroic stance. I really like it, and that is definitely going into my collection. Going over the cards and where I think this card's going to go in terms of investment, I'm actually going to go pulling in some marketing data and comparing Temporal Forces and the initial hype to current and how I think it's going to go into the future. So I'm looking here at Temporal Forces. So I'm on Google Trends, if you guys can see here, and I've just searched Temporal Forces. And we can see obviously there was literally zero kind of traction for it until now. And this is January 7th when it was released, or the set was kind of told with everyone the English name of the set. When we compare this to, I've got Paradox Rift here. So now looking at this table here, the graph, sorry, what you don't focus on here, because that's when the set released. When the set released, interest is obviously going to spike away. What we have to actually look at is this section here, around August, when the set was announced. So we don't want to look at when it was released. We want to look at the announcement date. And you can see here, I'm looking at both those, and it looks like Temporal Forces is actually performing slightly better in terms of interest on announcement than Paradox Rift. So that's really cool to see there. It's good to know that it's just a more popular set on announcement straight off the bat. But another really cool thing is when I actually put 151 here, which is the yellow. So 151 got announced in June, and you can see, don't worry about release. So these are the release dates of them. And we can see that when we're going here, 151 on announcement, man, look at the difference in the hype just on the announcement. You can see here that Temporal Forces and Paradox Rift, which is red, and Temporal Forces, which is blue, do not compare to 151. So if you haven't seen my video on 151 and where I go into the investment, check that out, because I think that is a pretty good, clear indicator just on how many people were drawn into 151 on its release. And the same thing, we're probably going to be seeing, just when we're looking at this, Pokemon's probably going to be thinking, geez, how do we get this kind of hype and demand back in the game with like how we can see with 151 here. Moving on forward is what I wanted to actually do and do here is, because we're comparing this to the future, but what if we compare it to a set that's already happened? So I wanted to actually go through a really popular set, which was Evolving Skies, and I want to compare that with Chilling Rain, and I want to go from announcement dates. So I'm not actually, so I want to just go from the announcement date. So we're going to go this. So I'm just going on Google Trends. I'm just writing Chilling Rain in here. And we're going to go explore. All right. And what we're also going to do, so you can see blue's Chilling Rain. And let's go here. I'm going to go Evolving Skies. Now, don't worry about, we're not going to look into this data just yet. What I'm actually going to do is I want to go into the dates category, and I want to go into custom range, January 2021. And I want to go all the way till, I'm going to go pretty much till the end of January, just so we have a clear year look on the trend. So here we go, 31st of December 2021, and okay. And I'm going to go into worldwide. So let's see how this went. And bam, we can see Chilling Rain and Evolving Skies. So there we go. Chilling Rain was released in June. Evolving Skies was released in August. But same thing when we're looking at the announcement dates. They actually had very similar peaks. In fact, it looks like Chilling Rain, when they were announced, were quite similar in terms of the popularity and the hype. What actually happened though, on release day, you can see Evolving Skies took over it by pretty much a whole, like 25% more popular on release. This is really important to know, and it's really good to know how much, because Google Trends is what we use in, this is how we look at how popular things are. It's not a Bible. You can't make clear-cut decisions from it. But what I really love to do when looking at sets, especially when they release, if they're hyped on release and you can kind of see that there's more searches, you know, you can kind of make decisions. Is this going to be a good set to jump into? I really like doing this because then I can be like, wow, okay, so it's got a lot of hype at the moment. Now, one thing that you can't make decisions on from this, and something that you have to be clear of, is reprints, because reprint territory will always be kind of a thing in the air that can completely kill a set. So you might say, oh yeah, if this set right now at the current trajectory it's going, we've purchased it on release, it doesn't look like a reprint's going to happen, and one comes, like anyone that's been in this hobby long enough knows that, you know, if you're collecting sealed, that can go straight out the door. So you got to be weary of that stuff when thinking of these sets. But just based on this so far, looking at Temporal Forces, I think they stepped up a level, and that's what I really like. But where we have to be really honest with ourselves is they've done the Paradox Pokemon. They've pulled them out, which are they're cool in of themselves, but they are still not a Charizard. They are not the EV evolutions. They are not Lucario. They are not any of those, you know, Pikachu, any of those big hot selling Pokemon that they capitalize on. What I really think would be good, but a lot of people will know, if they do release an EV set in Scarlet and Violet, if that does come out, that's the one that everyone's going to be maybe jumping on. But also, I don't think Pokemon's also going to make the same mistake with Evolving Skies. I think they're going to print this to demand. And when I mean to demand, I think they will. So it's something to look out for. No, I think that the sets, like I said, it has picked up a level. I do think that as much as I'm excited for Temporal Forces and I think it'll do well, I'm actually really excited to see what the next 2 and 3 sets are going to be, because I think this is what's going to define the Scarlet and Violet era. The artwork is also lifted, which is great. It is the same popularity on announcement as Paradox Rift, so we can look at that and just make a decision. We can't really make any decisions, but it's just good to know and see there. Long term, I don't think this set is, I think it's going to be available for years, but it is a cool set to have in your collection nonetheless. Singles at release will be interesting. At the moment, I think they're going to obviously, like usual, go down, but there will be a few that actually do well in the long term. So we're going to have to look around that. At the moment, this is my favorite set of the Scarlet and Violet era, besides the special sets in just terms of your base booster boxes. I'm really liking the artwork so far, and I like that they're not going with your major popular Pokemon for the special illustration rares. Yes, the legendary beasts are popular in their own right, but like I said, these are the Paradox versions. They don't kind of hold the same candle to the originals. So that's really my thoughts on Temporal Forces. But guys, this is a new channel, so if you really enjoyed the video, click that subscribe button and stay around, because we are going to be going into Pokemon sets, investing, and collectibles in general. But otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.